Hey guys. Hey Carlos.
People.
Hey Ruth.
Hey Carlos, how are you?
How is that for you? Look at this.
Oh, sweet. Hey Courtney, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Obviously, I'm gonna have to mute this because, as you can tell, Ruth, my little one won't leave me alone here because mommy's not home.
Yeah. We're going to get started in about a minute, so I'll just mute everyone. Hey, Naomi, from all the way from Australia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent.
Hey, hi everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Nice meeting you all.
Yeah, you too. You too. Is everyone here from Canada?
I'm from Canada. Yes, Ruth's from Canada as well.
I'm from Australia. Sorry.
Australia,
Hello.
there you go.
Early.
I have babysitting duties, so my little baby is with me. That's why he's won't leave me alone. Okay. So Ruth's gonna mute me when she begins, so I don't have to hear this anymore.
We'll mute. I'll mute now.
Put your foot down. Leave that alone, okay? Okay, lie down over here. Come on.
You're only supposed to be 6.
Hey, Summer, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us.
Well, you can actually see me?
I can. You did your hair.
You said I don't have to do my hair, you bum.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to go and I'm going to mute everyone's microphone for now, and then I'm going to open it up at the end, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So welcome tonight. I wanted to pull you guys together to talk about some of the concepts that were shared on the weekend by Ramin Mescarlu, who is our CEO in GWT. I have a few people on here who are on my MLSP team who are just wanting to hear some of these concepts, because the concepts, guys, are generic to network marketing. And one of the things that I found at the convention this weekend was that what Ramin shared with us was the real goods about network marketing. And it's something that, it took me years to learn being in the industry, but it's worth knowing up front and right away, and instead of going through the pain that I went through. So he was very, very clear with us. He was very transparent. And I'm here to share that with you guys and invite you to share it with your teams. So there's a lot of content here. I'm going to break it down. I'm only going to spend a half an hour on, because I want to respect your time. But we can do it over the course of the next couple of weeks, whatever I can't get to tonight. Because I want to leave a little bit of time at the end for comments and questions and shares. We'll cover in subsequent. Okay? So I'm just going to mute this line here. Perfect. Okay, so Ramin started the sessions for the Forensic Networker, which is really it's the book that he wrote on network marketing and direct sales and how to become successful in it. And he was it with 4 companies over the course of his career, built 4 multi-million-dollar businesses and has written compensation plans. So he knows what he's talking about. And the first thing he did was he really clearly identified what the type of networkers there are out there. So he basically summarized it really clearly. And I want you guys to listen to this because I want you to think about what kind of networker you are. And it's interesting because I thought I was one thing, and I saw little pieces of myself in several of the categories, which allowed me to reflect on what I was doing to become a better network marketer, right? So as I go through this, guys, I encourage you to make some notes and take some notes about kind of where you see yourself and where you thought you were prior to hearing this, because I had some revelations. So the first one is, what Ramin says, he says, what you do know will hurt you. And he gave us some statistics before he got into the 8 different types. And I'm using my notes, so I apologize if I'm skipping around. But he said 99.6% of MLM workforce are uneducated and unskilled. And that's just the reality. So when you're out there connecting with people on Facebook, on social media, realize that that's the biggest demographic you're dealing with, right? And when you're trying to attract leaders into your business, you've got to really look for those people. He said that 2/3 of the top 1% have achieved accidental success. And that was mind-blowing for me, because often we go to our company events and we see the big leaders cross the stage and they've made millions of dollars, and 2/3 of them got there accidentally. And that could have been anything from, maybe they were on a power team and one of their binary legs grew really fast, and then someone happened to sponsor another really strong networker on their other leg. And all of a sudden, they're seen as a superstar. And these people are the people who are training, right? So Ramin said, be very careful who you take your training from. The other thing he said, and I'm such a firm believer in this, having been a traditional entrepreneur and a corporate girl as an accountant. He says MLM is the last bastion of free enterprise. It's really the last chance for average people to earn above average income and to live an above average lifestyle. And that becomes more and more apparent in the economies that we're seeing now, right? And job loss, and even the most educated people are losing their jobs, losing their financial stability, and really having nowhere to go. So we have the vehicle, provided we deliver the real goods about what it takes to grow a large business. So is everybody kind of getting this? Yeah, just give me a head nod. Awesome. Okay, so he identified 8 categories of network marketers. The first one he called the Lotto Group. And I kind of laughed because, we've all met them, the Lotto Group. And they're the people who are seduced by hype. Unfortunately, they've been made false promises like, I'll build your team for you. I've heard that before in my other business. They're here thinking that they don't have to put in hard work and something phenomenal is going to happen. And our message to that group, and we love all these groups, right? And as we grow our businesses, we're going to find these 8 groups in our own businesses. But within that group, what can we give them? We can ask them to enjoy the products, because really the chances of winning the MLM lottery are pretty slim to none. The next group is called Weekend Wonders. And he described this group as they're good looking. They show up in like designer suits. They do 10 presentations a week. They go to all of the meetings, but they lack long-term commitment. They don't use the systems to duplicate, and you'll never see them with a guest at the meeting. So those people, again, we don't want to leave casualties, but we ask them to enjoy the products. We always encourage people to, use the systems, invite people out. We can give them scripts, but weekend wonders tend to be pretty stubborn and they won't do that. Then there's the slave driver. So that's the person in your MLM who is just all over their team and just, pushing them, bashing them. And, we really have to remember that we are all independent business owners. And all we can really do is lead by example, give the tools, share the tools and skills that we have, but you can never make someone do something. And I see new people getting really discouraged with this when they bring someone in and it's like, oh my gosh, he won't do this, or, he's not following the system, and it drives them nuts. It discourages them. They feel down. They feel frustrated. You got to let that stuff go, because we are all independent business owners, and the people who plug in, you work with them. The people who are trying, you nurture them. But you can't be a slave driver because you'll push people away. Then the fourth type is the people who are here primarily for social reasons. And that's, that's a very valid reason, because some people are looking for a community. They're looking for a connection. They're looking for a purpose. And network marketing and network marketing businesses can provide that to people. So, our message to those people is enjoy your new friendships, enjoy the products, enjoy the culture. And, we always want to encourage to bring people out, but they may not. They may just be happy being part of this big group going somewhere, and they're excited, and it adds value to their lives that way. Then there's the sometimer. And the sometimer is the largest segment in MLM. They think they're part-time. So they're working their business, but they really don't have a business plan. So their actions are random. They don't have a daily method of operation. They don't have a structured schedule. And they work really just when it's convenient. So they're the kind of people who, most people start out with a job and are doing this part-time. And if they don't feel good, they won't do it. If there's something better on TV, they won't do it. So distractions become very easy. The true part-timers do almost everything right. They see the opportunity. They have a serious business plan. Their why is strong. They're committed to most of the success principles, like duplication, keeping things simple, three-way calls, but they don't really understand the human element of the business. And, I'll share with you, because I'm always really transparent. Sometimes when I saw this, I fall into this category, because I know when I'm prospecting on social media, not so much one-on-one, because I'm pretty good with people on one-on-one, but on social media, I find sometimes I jump too fast to the business presentation and don't spend long enough building the relationship. So that was a really big aha moment for me. These people, they're great, they're committed, but they're not committed generally to becoming a trainer or building a relationship first. They jump too fast to the sale. The next one is part-time serious. So part-time serious is, they've got it 100% right. They've got a business plan. They have a marketing plan. Their why is strong. They're committed at least 5 years to their business. They know it's not a short-term, lottery. They're putting in between 20 and 30 hours a week, and they're documenting that. They're documenting their time. They understand the human element. And from part-time serious, people become full-time. And again, they have a serious business plan. They know their why. It's crystal clear why they're doing this. They're committed for at least 5 years. They're working 40 plus hours a week. They have a burning need, and they desire a full-time income from this. So when I looked at this, I thought I was full-time serious until I got to the end of Ramin's presentation, and I went, I'm more like part-time serious, so I've got to tighten up my schedule and not spend so much wasted time. So I started partitioning my time down into, half hour and 15-minute increments, so I didn't spend too long, say, on the phone with someone, or too long, prospecting someone. And it really taught me to focus more on the length of time it takes to develop that know, like, and trust factor and the human element in prospecting. So I discovered some things about myself, and I challenge you to kind of look at these things and figure out where you are and figure out where you want to be, right? Because today is a new day. Actually, tomorrow's a new day. Today's a new day for you, Naomi. And we can all start fresh and new and work toward where we want to be, right? That's the beauty of having a new day. So I thought that was a really interesting description of networkers. And it's also going to help you keep in perspective when people don't do what you wish they would do. You can just put them in one of these categories and say, yeah, okay, they're one of those, and it's okay. And move on till you find your real builders. So the next thing I want to do is, we have 15 minutes, and I'm going to kind of skip some sections and do them next week, but I want to skip to the most important part, and that's the number of interactions that are really required in order to beat the law of averages. And this is the part of the training that I absolutely loved. It absolutely blew me away. And, Ramin was very honest, and he said, this isn't going to be for everyone. In fact, part of the room may get up and leave after I tell you this. And I can understand why, because he painted the picture of what it takes to build $1 million business, or a $500,000 business, or a multi-six-figure business. So I want to take you guys through that tonight. And not everyone has to do this, right? But if you're feeling like you have big goals and you're not even close to getting there, it's going to put some real hard metrics around why you're not getting to where you want to be, okay? And if you're part-time and you're happy with that, and you're happy making a little bit of money every month, and that's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But I want to paint the picture for you in case you have big expectations and you're not getting there. Then either you have to do one of two things. You have to adjust your activity, or you have to bring your expectations down to meet what your activity level is, right? So I'm going to go through that, and then I'm going to open up the lines for shares, okay? So what Ramin said, and I'm just going to skip to the very back of my notes, is he gave us a daily method of operation. And I loved it because anyone can use it. And it can be used both for online prospecting. So some of us are doing attraction marketing. It can be used the same way online as it can be used offline. And, we tend to do a bit of both in all of our businesses, online and offline. So what he gave us was a box. So a box. And most of the boxes say Forensic Networker on. And inside the box, I'm just going to grab this, are cards. And I had started a card system before, and I didn't stick with it. And I'm back to it again because it works. So within these cards, I have dividers labeled 1 to 31 for each day of the month. And I have dividers labeled by month. Okay? A green card is a prospect. All right? So someone you've met, maybe someone you've connected with online and have started developing a relationship with. A red card is a hot lead. Okay? And in my system, a yellow card is somebody who has joined your business. So you're going to use these cards to record your prospects' information on. And as you work through your days, you're going to have this box right out on your desk as a gentle reminder. You need to be connecting with people every single day. And when you get up in the morning, it's going to stare you in the face and say, I got to make my calls today. I got to make my connections today. And as you work through the days of the week, you're going to take those cards and you're going to put them in the next day and the next day and the next day. And when you have a follow-up to do, you can put it in the following month. So it's going to keep you organized, and you're never going to miss a lead. You're never going to miss a follow-up. So that's just a keeping track system. Along with these cards, guys, is a tracking sheet. And I made an Excel tracking sheet that I can share with you after this little session. And basically, what the tracking sheet, and this is Ramin's tracking sheet. I'm going to see if I can share my screen here. Yeah, I'm going to share my screen with you. So let's see here. So 1 second. So here's my tracking sheet. And basically it says daily promise. How many leads are you going to connect with every day? How many dials are you going to make? It doesn't mean how many people are you going to prospect. It means how many dials are you going to make. If you're part-time serious, you should be connecting with 40 people. You should be making 40 dials. That will yield you 1 enrollment. If you're full-time, 100 dials will yield 2 to 3 enrollments. That's the activity level. And quite frankly, when I looked back at my activity prior to having this system, it was random. I never knew how many people I was connecting with. I was probably connecting with 100 people a day, but I didn't know I was connecting with people like wild on social media. But I didn't have a system to follow up as scientific as this. Well, it's not scientific, it's practical, basic. And I had no idea how much activity I was doing. So now I track it. So within those dials, guys, there's specific activities. So there's face-to-face tours. Your target is 144 in a year. Okay, that's going to build a monthly 5-figure income for you. 144 face-to-face tours or business presentations. We call them tours in our company. Booking appointments. Track how many of those dials. Here's day 1. If day 1 starts Monday next week for you, how many appointments did you book in those dials? How many people did you enroll in those dials? How many of those dials were follow-up calls? How many of those dials were not available? Track those. Or how many of those interactions or connections, if you're on social media like I am, how many team support activities did you do? Like 3-way calls for other people, webinars, phone calls answering questions. 3-way calls. How many people did you upgrade to a different package? How many people just said they aren't interested? How many people did you talk to about your auto ship or we call it inventory account? How many people did you sign up as a retail client or a preferred customer? How many web tours did you do? So how many web business presentations did you do? And how many live business presentations did you do? So you're going to keep track of these because this is your business and this is your budget. Your daily promise is X. If you're part-time serious, it should be 40. If you want to build a 5-figure income in 12 months. If you're full-time, it should be way more than that. Ramin says 100 to get 2 to 3 enrollments. So you're going to do this, whatever days of the week you're working, you're doing this. At the end of the week, you're going to total it up. And this column is going to total it all for you. You're going to do this for a month consistently. I challenge you to do it. If you're serious about your business, I challenge you to do this. And when you have your grand total, it's going to tell you something. And it's not only going to push you past your comfort zone, it's not only going to grow your business, but it's going to give you some data to analyze what you're doing right and wrong. So if you've got a whole bunch of, not availables, well, maybe you're doing your prospecting at the wrong time of day, right? If you're not enrolling people but doing the numbers, maybe you need some help with closing questions, right? So this data is going to give you really good information about your business and how you're operating it. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen now. So whether you're full-time, part-time, really part-time, doing this as a hobby, whether you're here because you love the community, those are all fantastic reasons. But what I want to really compel you to do is look at your goal, look at your why. If your why is to be full-time and buy a beach home in California like mine is, then I got to be doing the calls, because I know if I'm just randomly making 4 or 5 calls a day, I'm never going to reach the promised land, right? But it's okay if that's not your why. If your why isn't that, maybe your why is to make another $500 to pay for your car, right? Then you can reduce the number of calls or dials that you have to make. And really, guys, it's all about you and what you want to achieve in your business. It's not about me. It's not about Carlos. It's not about Naomi. It's about you. And when you know the metrics, there's no excuse to say, oh, I'm not making 10, 20 grand a month. Because the metrics are based on the law of averages. They're mathematical. I'm an accountant. I love this stuff. And the numbers tell the truth, right? So guys, I'm not going to do any more tonight. There's a whole bunch of other really good content I want to share next week, but I'm going to open up the lines for comments, questions, shares. Just let me open them up here. Does anybody have anything they want to share with the group?
Ruth, I was going to say to you, when I saw Ramin's system, I thought it was pretty fantastic because, as you know, I come from a sales background. And being from a sales background, actually it lined up exactly with what you're saying. I took away that obviously my job is not to try to be a sales closer, but basically more develop and build relationships. But what I found was very, very interesting, and as law of averages is exactly right on. And I've been using this, and I didn't know about how he was doing it. I was just doing it naturally because that's what it came to me. But it is true. It is 40 dials. If you do it consistently, whenever you have time, you'll get the 5 people to talk to you, and of that you'll be able to get two people to come and see your showroom tour, and obviously one is going to sign up. That's exactly what it is, Ruth. It's there's nothing more to it than that, and you got to be consistent, and you got to dial. Like, I mean, yesterday on my way to the showroom, I was dialing people. I had people in my car, and I was dialing people just because at the time I have. But I stayed commitment to dialing, and that's my commitment. So, I will dial as soon as I get a chance to dial, because that's what it is. Yeah. And it's usually not, it's not always new prospects. It's just following up with somebody else that I already talked to, who told me to talk to them in a month's time. And I know, thankfully I saw Ramin's system, and I actually, grabbed the box, and now I'm doing exactly with the cards because it makes sense to me. And my cards don't leave my car. They're always in my car. I bring them in the back of my car. I put them on a seat beside me, and I'm on my way to work, and I'm dialing. I bring them home at night, and I reshuffle them and see what I haven't done and what I have to do, and reorganize them. So my day for next day is already organized, and I'm ready to go again. So I encourage you guys to try the system and do the same thing, because I think it's a great system and it works. And if you're serious, I think you can achieve, just by doing the activity, achieve the success that you want, whatever that may be.
It's awesome, Carlos. Thank you for that. And I absolutely have seen you in action and with your system, and it works. I mean, you're consistently bringing people out to tours, and it's the dials that count.
It's what it takes, right?
Does anyone else have a share? Tonight we have about 5 minutes left.
I'd like to ask something. So, if you don't have the dials, obviously, through Facebook, you do the same sort of thing. Did you guys?
Sorry, Bill, I couldn't hear you there.
Some background noise somewhere. So would Facebook obviously, be the same sort of thing as well? Like, instead of having the dials, because I do both. Like, I go to events and meet new people, and I also do it on Facebook too.
Yeah, absolutely, Bill. And as you know, I do a lot of prospecting on Facebook as well. So when I'm having an interaction with someone and developing a relationship through chat, like, I try and bring it to a Facebook call, like, but even if I can't, they become a lead, because what happens is I put that lead in the next day, and I make sure that I have an interaction with that person the next day, whether I like or comment on a post, whether I, send them a message, just to create the relationship, right? Because I was finding before that I was talking to so many people on social media that I would forget who I was talking to, and I wasn't really building the relationship, right? But when it became a card, it was like, okay, I've got to talk to this person today. I've got to leave a comment, a like, whatever.
Ruth, I was going to help Bill. What I find is that with the cards, I agree with Ruth what she's saying, but now I actually tried it on Sunday, and what it forced me to do was on my cards to say, how did I learn about this person? What's the source? And I wrote the source as basically being Facebook. And on there it says phone number. Obviously, I didn't have the phone number of some of these people. And I said, you know what? I'm going to ask for the phone number to get in touch with them, because I want to keep them as a contact, and I want to build them as a contact so I can have them and put them in my contacts. Say, this is a reminder to call this person or whatever else. So I use the Ramin system to say, let me capture that information on the card. And I would have never thought about that before. I'd say, yeah, I'll chat with them or Facebook call them. And now I put it in the box, and I have it in the system. So I like Ramin's box by having the actual source and the actual force to have the phone number, or at least the email address, so you can stay in touch with them that way.
Yeah, that's awesome, Carlos. I agree. Like, I have cards for my Facebook contacts now that I'm interacting with, and I'll just put Facebook content. And if I haven't been able to get a phone number, then I know where to find them.
Well, I also put on there, like, if there's a note section, need to get face number from this Facebook contact. That's my next activity to do, like on that card.
That's
you know?
great. That's
Yeah,
awesome, Carlos.
One more question about the. Does anybody know when that promo video is going to be available for us to start using? I'm really anxious about it.
Leo said that when they know, we'll know.
Okay.
Because obviously they keep getting asked. So yeah, I don't think there's any timeline. I think they're all very acutely aware though in the LCG that everyone's really, really, really keen to get a hold of that video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
I gave us this teaser and then it's not there yet. So I'm sure it can't be too far off.
Sorry guys, I have one more question about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I've accumulated a lot of business cards that I don't think the people really know who I am anymore. Would it be appropriate to email them that video, or at least like start up a conversation and so forth, and then maybe ask permission? Or I don't want to just shoot something out to people. That's pretty rude. Spammy. But yeah, maybe I should talk to Ruth after that, how to kind of approach Ruth. How would I do that? Like, these are businesses, and
So,
I have no idea how to get to them. Like, a lot of cards I got.
yeah. So Bill, what I would do is absolutely a phone call. And what I like to do is I'll grab the card and I'll say, hi, it's Ruth Sheridan calling. I believe we met at a networking event in the past. I'll ask if they remember me, and likely they say no. And I'll say, no worries, it's all good. And then I'll just, I'll start a conversation. Just, how is your business going? You're in real estate. What's the market like? And have a conversation. And sometimes that conversation will result in inviting someone, if they're local, to have coffee. So it's belly to belly. If it doesn't, then I ask them, if they're open to looking at opportunities that will enhance their real estate business.
Okay.
Because in our business, we can always spin that into, how realtors can use our products for promotion, for closing gifts, for, whatever. So it's always a win-win, as opposed to, are you open to looking at a way to create an extra income stream? Because that's just get used so much now.
Yeah.
So you want to look at the industry and just say, are you open to looking at a way to enhance your real estate business?
That's great, Ruth.
That's such a very good suggestion, Ruth. Very good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Ruth, can I just ask, will you
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to ask, will you share that Excel spreadsheet? Because I've seen Ramin present that, and I've heard him talk about it a little bit at this year's convention, the forensic stuff, and obviously familiar with the 8 categories of distributorship. But if we had that working document, that would be fantastic. I would like Monday, let's go, game day.
That's my plan. So what I'll do, guys, is I'll upload it into GWT Success group. So
Okay, perfect.
not the chat, but in the group, it'll be in the file section. And Courtney, if you want it, I'll shoot it over to you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Before, I think we have 1 minute left.
Looking forward to the rest of it, Ruth. Can't wait to hear all the rest of it.
Okay, guys, awesome. Thank you for joining tonight. I hope you received some value from it, and I'll be back again next week, okay?
This is great, Ruth. Thank
Thanks,
you so
Ruth.
much.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Ruth.
Ruth.
Take care, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night,
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Carlos.
Bye-bye.
I can see you. The real estate part was good. I have lots of cards.
I'll start making calls, Dolores.
Yes, I will.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Sorry you can't see me. I'm in my nightgown.
I know.
Yeah, well, I thought I wasn't going to be seen, and my hair's a mess, and yes.
Oh.
Bill and Ruth, there you go.
Okay, good tips. Thanks, Ruth. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Thanks again, Ruth.
Bye bye.
Bye.